Hi there guys, and welcome to another edition of the Cover Zero Show with me, your host Simon Conboy. Another episode detailing the moves of one of the NFC South teams in free agency. This episode will be covering the Super Bowl runners-up, the Atlanta Falcons. So just a brief overview of their season. Of course, heartbreaking defeat in the Super Bowl, a game they really had wrapped up. I am going to touch on this debated topic about Kyle Shanahan's play calling. I understand he knows, he is an NFL offensive play caller. I've heard, especially around the league podcast that the NFL does. I believe it's Chris Wessling's been very defensive about people critiquing him, but he made a mistake. End of story. I was watching that game with a group of friends when they weren't running the ball after that Julio Jones catch. They were in field goal range. I thought that catch was the game, because you just run the ball 3 times, take as much time off the clock as possible, and at that point it's just, barring a miracle play at some point happening, it is impossible for the Patriots to come back. That comeback, they made sort of dinky dunk drives to get up the field. I'll do a detailed episode on this actually at some point, because I do have quite a lot to say on it. But, very unfortunate. They had that game locked up. The offense last season was superb. Matt Ryan, who had been questioned going into the season, a lot of people saying, is he the worst quarterback in the NFC South? Well, last year he was the MVP, and, deservedly so, really. But fantastic numbers. That offense was a juggernaut. The running back options, Tevin Coleman, a great pairing with Devonta Freeman. They give you a little bit of everything. Julio Jones is just a monster. I mean, it's between him and Antonio Brown. They're clearly the class of the wide receivers in the NFL. I mean, athletically, he's just, with Megatron gone, this is, the physical freak at the wide receiver position in the league right now. When he's healthy, he is just incredibly difficult to stop. Had some other options. Taylor Gabriel really came through for them as a deep threat. Only real hope they could get better at tight end. The offensive line was really solid. Alex Mack really solidified that group. Jake Matthews is developing nicely as a blindside protector. So it's all looking great for the Falcons on offense. They don't have any major free agents at that position. That offense should continue to keep humming along. Defensively, a lot of rookies, as was commented on it, I thought an excessive amount. They've got faster now. Faster doesn't always mean better, but it certainly helped. The rookies played well. Deion Jones in the middle and Keanu Neal at safety. They really helped out. Vic Beasley, who I still don't quite consider a top-level player. He got a lot of sacks last year. Good pass rusher, definitely. Don't particularly like what he offers in the run game. I think those sack numbers are a bit inflated. I don't think his level of play sort of warranted the amount of sacks he had. But, it was only his second year, so the Falcons have to feel good about that selection. It's hard to find pass rushers, even if he doesn't necessarily offer much in the run game. They'll be happy with that. Other than that, those 3 were unfortunate with Trufant going down. I think he's a true number 1 corner. He's a very, very good player. Beyond that, the corner group is fairly weak. Could stand to improve there. Need to generally, I think, improve that defensive line. Try and find another pass rusher to really take that defense up another level. But you'd think the offense, they'll miss Shanahan, no doubt. I don't think you can just expect to replicate the success they had last year, but clearly the personnel are there for this to be one of the top offenses in the NFL once again next season. Needs I had going into free agency for the Falcons were defensive end and defensive tackle. I think it's a fairly mediocre line. Grady Jarrett played well, really highlighted by a great performance in the Super Bowl. Other than that, fairly mediocre across those spots. They could do with more corners. Trufant's fine. I wouldn't be particularly happy with the rest of the guys. Tight end, they've just got to hope Austin Hooper develops. It might be a need. It depends what happens with him. But it's a pretty good overall roster, and clearly the plan should be to improve. Strange position. Normally, you get those teams that advance quite far into the playoffs. They've got quite a lot of free agents. They didn't really have too many. It should be a very similar roster going into next year's season, which is a massive boon for the Falcons. In terms of their additions, nothing too fancy. They bought Matt Shaw to be the backup once again, 2 years, $9 million. It's fine. I mean, I feel the team will be somewhat doomed if Ryan goes down, but it's a reasonable backup. Bought back tight end Toalolo on a 3-year, $12 million deal. Another one of those. I don't know what's going on with the tight ends. I don't want to dwell on these tight end signings, but they are bad. You've got Austin Hooper. Just go spend less money elsewhere. Get someone else. Toalolo's not really done anything over the years. Strange one. Bought back Bleedy Ray Wilson. Not really achieved much in his career. Not got the contract numbers there. It's just fine. And they signed Jack Crawford, formerly of the Cowboys, to a 3-year, $10.5 million deal to play defensive end. This is one of those. Again, why are they paying him that much money? He didn't really show anything in Dallas. No doubt he bit their hand off. I don't think he was going to get a better deal elsewhere. Maybe they see something in him. I don't know. This is just one of those sort of strange signings. Like, maybe go for a 1-year deal on. Then I can't criticise it. But when you're going 3 years, you're committing to the player, and yeah, I have to be critical of this because I just don't understand it. I'm sure there's get outs. I'm sure it's pretty much a 1 or a 2 year deal, effectively. But does it make them better? I doubt it. In terms of losses, lost Paul Warrilow. Lost his job basically last season to Deion Jones. Was a middling kind of player. I don't think that's going to be a big loss. Patrick DeMarco. Fine fullback. Frankly, the money he got from San Fran was nanas, absolutely crazy. So, not surprised he walks. I don't think it's a huge deal. I don't know if the fullback will be as prominent under the new offense. We'll see. I would imagine, they should really want to try and replicate what the offense was doing last year. So I imagine they'll probably utilise the 2-back system once again. I think Freeman in particular operates very well behind a fullback because vision, I think, is his greatest asset as a runner, and giving him the ability to read the fullback and adjust based on his blocks is what you want to be doing as an offense. So still got Dwight Freeney out there. I thought he contributed really well. He's had quite a nice little twilight of his career, has Mr. Freeney. Really helped the Cardinals the previous year, was a contributor for the Falcons last year. Wouldn't be shocked to see him go back. Might continue his sort of tour of the NFL at the end of his career. He can still contribute. I think as well, the veteran presence, I've got no doubt he helps out, young pass rushers like Vic Beasley and stuff, because this guy's seen it all, he's done it all in the NFL. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to Atlanta to try and chase that ring. So yeah, not particularly active, which, as I say, you probably would expect. I mean, as I said, they didn't have too many guys free. The roster is pretty solid defensively. They should get better, you'd think, with experience. So a lot of youth on that D. Could be a lot better next year. I still feel the needs remain very much the same. Need to beef up that defensive line. Guys like Adrian Claiborne. Claiborne was a first rounder for the Bucks. He's okay. That's it. Just a mediocre player. Could do with some more backers. Just beef up the defense. That's what I expect. I expect to be a draft heavy on the defense. Maybe go out, try and get another receiver. Sanu's fine. Taylor Gabriel's fine. They could do with maybe another option in that spot. Maybe try and get another tight end. Although with the money they gave Toalolo, and of course Hooper's going to get a chance to develop, I'm not sure that happens. You can always do with more O-line depth. O-line depth is something every team needs. So yeah, I mean, all things are pointing up for the Falcons. I think you could say they overachieved last season. It's just a case of trying to maintain that offense. The biggest loss, of course, being Kyle Shanahan. Be interesting to see what happens with the offense and how close they can come to matching the exploits of that leading offense last year, which looked unstoppable at times. So yeah, good job Falcons, in terms of setting up this off-season to not really be one you need to be particularly active. Really worked out last year, went great for them. Had a good draft. Beef up that defense, and who knows, they could be winning the Super Bowl next year. But yeah, good stuff. Thank you very much for your time, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Pretty positive considering I don't have particular liking for the Falcons as a Bucs fan. But yeah, they're set up to be a contender. But thank you for watching. You know, like, share, subscribe, leave comments, all that good stuff. Do you think the Falcons are the team to beat in the NFC next year? I guess for most people it'll be between them, the Cowboys and the Packers at this point in theory. Do you think they'll maintain that level of offense? How much do you think the Shanahan loss is going to hurt them? And what do you Falcons fans think the team needs defensively? I know you guys are aware that's the area of the ball that can be improved upon this off-season. So drop me any comments. I'll do my best to respond to them all. Check out the Patreon, subscribe to me on Twitter, all that good stuff if you want to have a chat with me about the Atlanta Falcons or anything else for that matter. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please check out the rest of them. Hope to have the rest of the NFC South up as soon as possible. Pleasure as always. Have a good one and go Bucks.